Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien on the afternoon of Saturday, February 25th, 2023, and stand by for the weekend comment. Well, the weekend comment is on MTG. Marjorie Taylor Greene and her national divorce. Marjorie, you must be smoking something over there. Either that or you're that far extreme rightist that you don't get national divorce, you say? Does that mean that you don't recognize the United States of America anymore? Or do you just recognize the Trumpers? The 25 to 29 million crazy extremists that you are on the Republican Party? Is that what you do? I guess. And don't forget, you got 25 to 29 million extremists on the Democratic Party to the left side. They're as bad as you guys. Is that what you want? The red states and the blue states? Yeah. Remember, there was a national divorce already tried here twice. Once in the Civil War, 1861 to 65, and again with the Compromise of 1877, where the Republicans gave away the South to the Democrats, and they got the presidency for the next 20 years. Or almost, 20 years, off and on, if you don't include Mr. Grover Cleveland. There you go. But anyway, and it was a disaster. And a disaster, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is people with your kind of thinking. The United States is neither white, red, nor blue. It's neither black, nor white, nor Asian. No. It is the United States of America. And that's the thinking you gotta look at. You're looking at it as Republican. Yeah, right. Your state of Georgia has different issues than the state of Tennessee, or the state of Florida, or Michigan, or Hawaii, or Alaska. Okay? So there shouldn't be anything Republican about that for each one of you guys. You gotta eliminate the parties. And you gotta set the governors. Okay, are you gonna elect the governors from the states? Or are you gonna be a country like my home country of Panama, which decided, hey, that causes us a lot of problems, so we'll appoint the governors and give them a budget, so that they can run the province with that budget. Yeah. Oh yeah, and for the Indians, we'll give them self-determination, and they can, and a budget with their chief, and he can run their territory. They're still national Panamanian citizens. That's something that you guys haven't realized here. That's why Panama is the way it is today. Is it perfect? No. Is it better than it was in 1989? Oh, you betcha it is. Between 1968 and 89, Panama was a disaster. And before that, it was a disaster. But one of the generals did something good. Torrijos made the people learn and educate themselves, and educated them to a point that they became savvy. Even the Indians are savvy today. Heck, over here, your Indians are savvy over here. But what did you do? You put them in reservations, yeah. And then you took the reservations away from them. The Indian territory that you promised them, well, that you made it into open country in 1889, and everybody was all around its borders ready to go. And some people cheated and they became the Sooners. Yeah, you see Marjorie Taylor Greene there? And therefore, the Indian Territory was no more. It became Oklahoma with the Okies and the Sooners. Oh, yeah. And to this day, you got the Sooner football team. Yeah. Oh, boy. But what if you take the 50 states, take the remaining reservations that you have, and the states tell them, okay, the territory where these reservations are, let's take it away from the federal government, give them to them, and their quasi governments on their own. We'll set up a budget, and since we are going to be Americans, if that's what we want, then we don't want to be Indiana, Hoosiers, Michiganders, Georgians, Tennesseans, Floridians, alumni, or Wisconsinites. I guess you would say Wisconsinites. Is that what you would say there? Or heavens to Betsy, Californians and Texans. Oh boy. Yeah, if we don't want to be that anymore, but we want to be Americans, then we should still have Texas as Texas, but have a federal government give you a certain budget that you can run the state like that. Texas wouldn't agree to that, I don't think. California would definitely want to agree to that. Or if you want to be states, then you got to form a new union and figure out this is what we're giving to the states, to the federal government, as far as our defense and stuff like that. And no parties allowed, because each state has their own issues. You sent representatives to the National Congress, and you deal with problems there. Yes? No? Or do you want to divorce blue states and red states? And what's that going to do? Well, absolutely nothing, because you got centrists that control moderate Republicans, moderate Democrats. You still got some of those. And centrists that you got 25 million to 29 million. So say you got 30 million, 60 million, and you got 330 million. So you still got 270 million that are against you. See what I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene? You got a problem here. You Americans have a problem here because you're not Americans. You want to be this, that, and the other, but not American. So if you don't want to be Americans, then figure out what you're going to do with your nuclear weapons before you dissolve like the Soviet Union, and then go from there. And which one's going to be your version of Ukraine, huh? With nuclear weapons that you gave back to the Russians, yeah, by the U.S., but the Russians wanted your territory. So which one of your other confederations that you form after this wants that territory that becomes the American version of Ukraine? See, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you got a mess here. Sitting in for Paul Harvey. This is your favorite alien saying, ugh. Good day.